Does this show still go out
No,
on
no,
telly?
no, 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 no. You can't look in yet. Oh, my God, no, Sean. You don't want to ruin it.
Oh, sorry.
It's an incredible game. OK, John and Sean, this is a bluffing game. John, in front of you, there is a red box. Sean, in front of you, there is a gold box. There's a carrot in one of these boxes. I know, it's exciting stuff. The aim of the game is to end up with the carrot. It's a game of bluff.
When do we do the conundrum?
Sean, stand still. Let's try and... John, you want a carrot. Sean, you want a carrot. But there is only one carrot. Let's play. Shh. It's incredible. Shush! It's a brilliant game. Shush!
Stupid!
Stop ruining Christmas!
Haven't you told me?
Why are you ruining Christmas?
I'm not ruining Christmas.
Well, you are!
This is ruining Christmas.
Look at his little face. He's excited about playing. You've got to ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, I can't wait to win this carrot.
OK, let's play. Carrot in a box. OK, Sean, you can look inside your box. John, you cannot look inside your box. OK, you want the carrot, Sean. No, don't put no hands in the box. You can look inside the box. Have you looked? Have you seen?
Yeah.
OK, you now have to convince John to swap his box if you think he has the carrot, or keep your box. It's a game of bluff. The winner is the one with the carrot.
Oh, I'll keep this. It's got carrot in it.
OK.
It's a stupid game.
OK, you have a choice. Do you want to swap or not? I mean, he seems confident there's a carrot in there. He's seen the floor in this game.
Jimmy's ploughing on.
What do you mean Jimmy's ploughing on? It's my job. Is Sean bluffing? Does he have a carrot in his box?
It's a real quandary for me, Jimmy, this.
Well, he can choose them, none of them.
Yeah, he's allowed to swap if he wants to swap.
Why can't I just keep my box?
No, he can swap if he wants
I
to
can
swap.
refuse to swap it.
No.
You can't make somebody swap something they don't want to swap it.
Have you never played carrot in a box before? Have you never seen the show?
I must have been on
prime
holiday.
time.
I must have been on holiday that week it was allowed out.
Do you want to keep your box or swap your box?
I can keep this, or I can have the box that's definitely got a carrot in it.
Yes.
I want Sean's box.
OK, we'll grab Sean's box. Sean, let go of the box.
Mate.
It's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game.
Can I just say at this point, if there's no carrot in that box, you are a genius.
Well, let's swap boxes. Swap boxes.
But am I allowed...
Swap the boxes. Swap.
Am I allowed to have my box back? Is there another round where I get to have the box with the carrot in back?
I'm going to level with you, fellas. We've never played this game before. We do not know how it ends. OK, so, John, you're now allowed to look in your box.
Right.
And I believe you can reveal... Point it the other way. Does it contain a carrot or not?
No fucking carrot.
You are the winner. Congratulations.
Very good, very good.
That was carrot in the box, everyone. I'm going to go and sit down now and think about what we've done. Did you know, for example, 25% of men think their eyes are their best feature? Let me think. Buns, guns, pecs, nads, little Jimmy Johnson, eyes. Sixth best. The world's oldest goldfish was 42. He put his long life down to regular early morning swims. And the average life expectancy in the UK is 80 years. Does not include Scotland. Terms and conditions apply. Right, let's get started. OK, Johnston, what's the other most important moment in life?
People do babies, don't they?
You made it sound like litter.
I think the only reason I want to have kids is so I can look at other people's without being accused of being a paedophile. Like when you walk past a... I don't mean in that way. I just mean...
dig yourself out of this. I'd love to see this. He's got a shovel. He's on your marks, John, and dig your way out of that one.
Sometimes you're walking past a playground.
Sure. He's going deeper before he even starts the dig.
Sometimes you're walking past a playground and you just want to be able to watch the abandon of children. It's like watching nature. It's like when you watch the leaves change in autumn. Sometimes you want to watch a kid on a swing and think, oh, I used to be on swings before I had jobs and before people judged me and before I wasn't allowed to be in a park. And then before you know it, you've been there half an hour and someone says, oh, which one's yours? You go, I'll go then. Fine. I'm not... It's a nice... And sometimes a baby will look at you...
What you should say is, I haven't chosen yet.
Dr. Christian, is there anything that we can do to get John chemically castrated? You haven't got kids?
Absolutely no desire to have children whatsoever. Yeah, you can't... They just linger too long and you can't have a
life.
life.
They do linger, don't they?
Yeah.
They go on living is another way to say
They go on.
They linger. I mean, if they lasted 5 years, it'd be perfect, but no.
I never wanted kids, really. I just wanted one of those big American fridges. You know, the really big ones. Yeah. I thought it'd be ridiculous. I get one of those. It's just me and my partner there, and like a lasagna and a lemon rolling around in it. I thought I'd better have some kids, fill it out with yoghurt.
Well, I didn't think that I was very maternal until I had my baby.
Isn't that a bit late, though?
Yeah.
Really, that's fine, isn't it?
But then it was fine. You know, honestly, you know...
Yeah, but what if it wasn't? You can't put it back in, can you? You can't, can you? No, you can't.
But see, if you do have every drug under the sun, don't... If somebody comes at you
Not
with
whilst you're
heroin,
pregnant, I should confirm.
No, but in labour, have everything. You know these folks that lie on bean bags and they have candles? No. No. You want to be numb, as God intended. You want to be numb from the waist down, knowing nothing about it until they give you a beautiful baby.
That's conception or birth?
Well... honestly, don't have everything. Have everything.
I've never heard anything more Scottish than that. Take all the drugs that you can. Seriously, all of them. Get all of them. It's brilliant. It's like you only had the baby for the high.
No, but it is really... Honestly, I recommend it.
It's expensive, though.
No, it's on the
very
NHS.
expensive. Well, they've worked out.
It doesn't cost you anything. It's on the National Health Service.
No, he's saying having children,
No, I mean
not...
raising children.
Not the drugs. I know a guy that can get it for a £5.
Yeah, to raise the child is something that the average they have through its lifetime is £200,000.
Yeah.
And that's not factoring in daddy's drinking, daddy's gambling.
It's all worthwhile when they turn 13 and tell you that they hate you and wish you were dead.
But then they'll look after you.
I'll fast-track that.
They'll look after you when you're old.
What?
When you're old, they'll look after you. All the money that you've paid out, they'll have to...
I'm going to use the money I saved to look after me. Although I don't have kids, because tragically my girlfriend and I can't have children the way we do it. Let's see whether having children is one of the most important moments in life. I have a feeling it will be. Yes, of course. Number one. Yes, having children. Doctors warned women should have a baby by the age of 35 to avoid the risk of being deafened by their ticking biological clock. Did you know, for example, people in Sheffield have the most fillings and missing teeth in Britain? Finally, something to go on that Welcome to Sheffield poster. 34% of the under 30s don't know how to wire a plug. It's easy. Dad, how'd you wire a plug? 7% of men say they've taken credit for work they didn't do, and that's according to a poll I conducted myself earlier today. And 60% of teenagers say they only go to church for weddings and christenings and claim they don't know nothing about no lead on no roof. Right, let's get started. Sean's team first. What do you think the nation have been talking about?
There are people still moaning about the snow.
Well, some people are slightly more moany than others.
Brilliantly on the news. Another bloke was being interviewed on the news the other day, and he was saying, he said, my bins haven't been emptied for a month. And the way he said it was like a euphemism. Nobody's come round to empty my bin. They haven't even given them a lick. I wouldn't mind if someone just came round and just jiggled my bins.
Faye, have your bins been emptied recently?
They were. There was a lack of bin men, and I had left out a big load of beer for them for Christmas, which was still there until earlier this morning.
So they have sex with you for beer?
Where did the sex bit come into it?
Oh, I was thinking of my euphemism.
Yeah, I think you were
It
sticking
was
with
just
that.
in our heads.
Oh.
Yeah.
But in our heads, it was going brilliantly.
Yeah, no, I'm now cleared out, as it were.
Have you been affected by the snow, Josie?
I tell you what I saw. I was walking along the road just after it snowed and everyone was moaning about lack of grit. I saw someone had taken it into their own hands and what they'd done was they put loads of flour on the drive and then when they run out of flour, they put loads of oats and then they put loads of sugar. And I was really expecting to see, just next to that, a baker frozen to death. Just...
I've got my own salt. I use these little sachets of salt. What I do is I sprinkle a bit like that. Right, then I get another one out.
I get really pissed off. I get really pissed off by the whole, like, panic buying stuff that everyone talks about, like, panic buying, because there's a food shortage, people go out and they panic buy bread, eggs and milk. Like, to me, that doesn't seem like panic buying in a food shortage. That's quite intelligent buying. Panic buying would be if you went out to the shops during a food shortage and came back with, like, a copy of 40 Towers and a dildo. I panicked!
Is there a business opportunity here?
I don't... What, with dildos?
No. Although...
Do you know what I see, though? I don't know whether everybody else thinks the same, but this weather, you've got some nutters on the road.
I did see the two guys that drove on the canal this week. You see that?
Great, wasn't it?
You know, the best thing about the story, so it was guys, they got their car, whatever it was, a little tiny Citroen, they drove it along a canal and it went into the water and it reported that they both made it out alive and so did the dog. They took a dog.
Maybe the dog was driving. That's why they're on the canal. You know, sometimes you go to your dog, go on, you have a go. Sellotape his paws to the wheel. I'll do the gears, don't worry about the pedals. That's what happened.
Let's have a look and see whether the cold weather is still one of the most talked about things. Yes, of course it is. Yes, this is the news that the UK is still in the midst of the coldest winter for 30 years. A headmaster in Hampshire claims some pupils are struggling to make it into school because of the bad weather. He said of the 320 sitting maths A-level, 280 were in the exam hall when the exam started. Another 30 turned up 20 minutes later. 4 people went to the toilet, but only 3 returned. Then 42 left the building. How many were there at the end of the exam? Many people in the north have been bulk buying food because they're fat, greedy bastards. Did you know, for example, 30% of people would consider moving abroad after a holiday? I read about 2 girls who recently went on holiday to Peru, and they liked it so much they're staying for 6 to 8 years. 20% of travellers claim to be members of the Mile High Club. I once had a near miss on a flight to Thailand. Sorry, not near miss. Pre-op transsexual. And 23% of Brits have never visited France, which means they've never experienced the thrill of sitting in a cafe on the Champs-Élysées and being put off their croissant by the sight of a woman's hairy armpits and the smell of dog shit. Right, let's get started. Sean's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
Strictly Come Dancing has started again.
It's back on, it's huge.
Yeah, it is huge, it's massive. Although the line-up is a bit... Well, I think most of them should bring a utility bill. I don't know who they are.
I thought there were huge stars on there.
Like
There's
who?
Vanessa Feltz. You did that. Yeah. I said nothing.
No, I did that as well. I've been locked in a house with Vanessa Feltz. I can testify.
Of course.
Yeah, I did.
When you did Celebrity Big Brother.
I did Comic Relief Big Brother in 2001 with Vanessa Feltz, and she is she's nuts.
How long did you last in that, Jack?
I was in the whole week. I won it, of course.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Charm and personality that
Yeah.
shines through. Captured the nation's heart.
Exactly. People just sort of warmed to me, and
I think people kept you in because they knew it would irritate you.
Yeah.
Just
thinking, like, do you think maybe she just said, like, I'll come and do the show, but I'm just not gonna do too much because I'm a bit heavy? Yeah.
Do you mean like serious, or what do you...
No, I mean, like, seriously.
Oh, no, you're
like...
being incredibly bitchy. OK, great.
No!
I didn't realise where you were going with this, but no, I'm with you.
No, you just called her fat. And you go,
I didn't. I didn't
used
call her
another
fat.
word.
I didn't say she... I didn't. Because I'm just saying she hasn't danced much, and to me, if you're going on a dancing show, you should dance.
Sean, presumably you're pretty... I mean, you watch the show. Would you go on the show? Would you go on Strictly?
well, you know, if my whole career fell apart in tatters, and I had really no option and a lot of tax bills to pay and the situation... No, I actually didn't mean that. Sometimes you get lucky. I mean, you only go on it if your career has reached a certain point. Basically, you have to throw yourselves up into the sort of, like, tides of popularity and hope you get washed up on a beach, not smashed to pieces on the rocks.
Right, then, well, on that note, Jamelia, would you do it?
So.
What?
Honest to God, I get asked to do it every single year, and just hell no.
It's one of the 2 biggest shows on TV, so, I mean, it's...
Do you know the stupid amounts of money they offer you to do that show? I just wouldn't...
How much did they offer?
No, they're like
come on.
I mean, ridiculous
What,
amounts
tell
of money.
us.
You can buy a house, put it that way. And
Yeah, but you live in Birmingham.
No. Yeah.
Let's have a look and see if Strictly is up there. Yes, indeed, Strictly Come Dancing has started again. In the first episode of this series of Strictly, everyone agreed Abby Clancy stole the show. Typical Scouser. 31% of taxi drivers don't take a break whilst at work. You'd think that'd make them cranky and opinionated. And a teaspoon contains 120 drops of water. That's according to research by Professor, probably, from the University of... Yeah, I reckon. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Jason's team, you're to guess first. What do you think people might have been talking about this week?
It's the untimely death of Molly Sugden. Who saw that coming? Who else is that?
Jimmy.
Is it...
Jimmy. He had his chance.
Yes, David, what?
Have you heard Michael Jackson is dead?
Yes.
I thought the coverage, like the night he died on Thursday, was it Thursday when it happened?
Thursday, yeah.
I mean, I sat there all night just flipping channels between BBC, Sky News, just trying to see how many different ways you can say Michael Jackson is dead. There was this lady on BBC News, and she said, Michael Jackson, King of Pop, dead at 50. We go back live to Los Angeles for an update. He dead. He's still dead.
Are you sad about it?
For me, it's a little bit like when Diana dies. I couldn't give a fuck. The audience, how do you feel? Are you good? You feel sad? No, it's a weird one. That a few of you, yes. Now, I read in the paper the big story, the real tragedy around Michael Jackson's death was the fact you were looking for a house and you lost out on the deposit.
Yeah, there's an element of truth in that, yeah.
So did you find him a house?
He was actually found 3 houses. And this is perhaps why I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah. Is he living in one?
Because... just a little bit. He was due to sign he was due to choose one of the houses this week.
So what was he looking for? Was it a flat?
Fairground, isn't it? Has it got an ensuite? Has it got a waltzer?
Well, what was he looking for?
He needed what was essentially a stately home, but it needed to have all the mod cons of a gym and a cinema and a panic room and that sort of thing.
But I think what's quite interesting is they were going to have a state funeral. People were going to go and see his coffin. What they're going to do instead of a state funeral, they're just going to dangle him out of a window for 30 seconds.
Let's have a look and see whether Michael Jackson is one of the most talked about things this week. I imagine he's right up there. Yes, indeed. I think the highest percentage we've ever had. Yes, Michael Jackson has passed away. You could tell Michael Jackson wasn't well. He hasn't looked himself since about 1984. Did you know, for example, in a recent survey, 80% of Scottish men claimed they regularly surf the web until they were told that the fruit machine in the chippy is not actually part of the internet. 7% of 80-year-olds have used email, and it's even better for them because they love spam. 21% of people text whilst on the loo. They're on pay-as-you-go. And 47% of men would give up sex for 6 months in return for a 50-inch plasma TV. And 47% of women said, deal. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation, and they've asked the British nation what are the top uses of the internet. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 uses of the internet. Sean, your team to go first. What do you think people use the internet for?
Well, Carol, you're on the internet.
I'm on the internet all the time. I tell you what I do. I shop on the internet. I buy absolutely everything on the internet.
You're not worried about fraud and all that sort of stuff?
No.
You're not worried about people nicking your identity and that?
No.
I bet your password is proper confusing, though, isn't it? You've got an amazing password that you've actually got to solve 3 sums to get the password.
I buy a ton of books from Amazon, but I actually go to the factory and I never ever use their website.
You just go to the depot in Leicester?
Yeah, and there's one in Germany. I just like to be able to browse and see them in the boxes and, you know...
It would be amazing if Amazon opened up a shop where you could browse. Yeah.
I find it weird when they do that thing where they sort of suggest other things that you might like to buy because of what you've bought previously. Like, I bought your DVD at Christmas, right? And then it said, you like Jimmy Carr's DVD, you might also like a Police Academy 5 assignment Miami Beach.
Whereas actually, you'd be more likely to like Mission to Moscow, which is the 6th in the series.
But you were great in both of those films, so...
I tell you, I bought your DVD at Christmas as well, and quite rightly, you know, they offer you things that you think would be associated. And there's an inflatable bondage chair that came up on mine. But
well, there must have been some other things that you bought as well. It is, the recommendations is an odd thing, because it's sort of... I don't mind buying stuff on Amazon, but when the recommendations come up, I do sometimes think, is that me? I've got to change.
It would freak you out if it happened in Tesco, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? If you were, like, buying some tuna and someone went, do you like tuna? You tried it with pasta? It's well nice. Or if somebody came and bought your shopping last minute. Like, you've done all the work, bought it, and you put your bid in for your shopping, you're lining up in Tesco and someone's gone, I think you'll find that's my shopping now.
David, do you buy anything on... You buy eBay stuff, don't you?
I recently bought on eBay a 5-foot actual-size inflatable giant penguin. And it's the first time ever in my life I have thought, wow, when my parents were my age, they had 2 kids in a house, and I have an actual-size 5-foot...
Right, let's have a look and see whether shopping is one of the top 5 uses of the internet.
Yay!
10% of European babies are conceived on an IKEA bed, so be sure to follow the instructions. Put peg A into slot B and then screw until the nuts tighten. Salad drawers in fridges contain 8,000 bacteria per square centimetre. And for viewers in Scotland, the salad drawer is the bit at the bottom of the fridge where you keep your emergency lager. And 20% of people admit to preparing a meal just to photograph it for social media. It sounds weird, but to be honest, I'm like that with my erections. Right, let's get started.
Oh, too late.
Rob.
Storm Angus.
That's the first one of the year.
Do you know what I would have called it? Winter.
Isn't it? I do like the way they've all got such weird names. Like, the next one is going to be Barbara, apparently, and then there's a Doris. They all sort of sound like menopausal dinner ladies. I do think, like, it must be good for insurance firms, because a lot of, I imagine, quite butch men wouldn't want to phone up their insurance company and be like, oh, you've got to give me a new shed. Barbara's just destroyed it.
That was Tom Allen's impression of a butch man.
don't get to meet many of them.
It's Angus, then it's going to be Barbara's the next one, then Connor, Doris, Ewan, Fleur, Gabriel, Holly. I mean, they just...
They're quite posh, aren't they? They're all like middle-class white names. Where's, like, Storm Shaniqua?
We talk about Fogbows.
Fogbow was incredible, wasn't it?
Because that was like the best, worst thing to come out of the storm, Angus, wasn't it? Because that was what everyone was saying, oh, wow, look at this amazing fogbow. It is a colourless rainbow. As if the world isn't shit enough.
Well, I think it's Trump's new world, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's gone, there's a rainbow, but I don't like gays.
When is it a storm? When does it go from windy to a storm? Is it when the umbrella goes inside out? How do they measure the wind speed? Do they just sort of drive alongside it in their car? Just wait until it's defined when they stick their head out?
If they do it by the tongue of a dog, or
We thought we had it bad, but America, obviously much worse. Take a look at this, this report from San Diego.
We're live here at Fashion Valley Mall. This is a parking lot that is notorious for flooding. You look at all of this water. This car is submerged, and I am knee-deep in water. But we got gut reaction from one driver who had his car stuck in this. We really feel for him this morning.
There was a point in America when they started talking about storms. I think one senator said that they were a punishment from God for gay marriage, I think, or as I like to call it, garage. But I do think it's a bit naive to think that God's punishment would be a load of storms, because then you, of course, have a load of firemen coming after you, and a lot of gay men like them. But I do find in the UK we haven't had that sort of problem. I mean, if there's ever a storm, all you tend to see on the news is always some old woman in a dinghy. And I think maybe that is God's punishment.
The thing that annoys me when there's flooding, it's always the guy in the high street in a canoe, on every bit of news
Always.
footage.
Who has a canoe in their garage? I mean, gay marriage.
Why do they always use... They always use sandbags. I don't
It stops the water.
Well, it doesn't, does it? Have you seen a beach?
Well, let's have a look and see if Storm Angus is up there. Yes, it's Storm Angus. So those were the nation's most popular talking points. But in other news, Donald Trump has said this week that he's as liberal and tolerant as the next man. Unfortunately, the man he was standing next to was Nigel Farage. Trump has called for Nigel Farage to be Britain's ambassador to America. So we like about Farage, but he doesn't care what people think about him. Prick. The average person is capable of making more than 1,000 facial expressions. And this is the one I made when I heard that statistic. KFC is the most popular fast food restaurant in China. You would have thought it would have been a Chinese. 55% of men wash their hands after going to the loo. What I do, and here's a tip for you, is I wash my winky in the morning and then I'm good for the rest of the day. Right, let's get started. Sean?
Well, I think definitely been talking about bird flu, the approach of bird flu that's coming to us. People are very worried about it, aren't they?
My mum panics because she reads all this stuff and she phoned up last week because she thought a budgie had got it, Sooty. It's got a budgie. And apparently he was just in the corner of the cage shivering and won't go up its ladder. And he loves going up his ladder, Sooty. He loves it. What happened was, turned out the grandkids had been getting him out of the cage and holding him over a globe of the world and spinning it down, and it just freaked him out. I'm too high! I'm too high!
Bird flu. Bird flu. Horse run.
The government says don't panic. Says don't panic. If it gets into a stress situation, just move them all inside. But that's where we are.
I don't think the chickens are too bothered, really, because compared to what the farmer's got in store for them, flu's a bit of a holiday, really, isn't it? If I was a chicken, I'd be snogging other chickens trying to catch them.
They've been talking about 20 million people might die if the bird flu kicks off.
We're all right, we're blokes, aren't we?
Someone had to say it, Vic, and I'm glad it was you.
See what I've done there? Yeah, it's just the birds who are going to get it, isn't it?
If only, Vic. And then me and you could just run off together into the sunset.
Like we did last week.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look and see whether avian bird flu is one of the top 5 most talked about things this week. Yes, it is. Yes, the second most talked about thing this week was bird flu. The deadly H5N1 virus is close to Britain. Coincidentally, H5N1 is Bernard Matthews' postcode. Richard, Neil, Dave, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Wembley's not finished. Fuck off, really.
Big shot.
Chelsea Breeze. I was looking at some sort of report on it. It said that it's going to have 2,000 toilets. Wembley's going to have 2,000. And there's your delay. Waiting for the plumber, aren't they?
I thought actually that one of the problems is a language problem, isn't it, with the Australian builders? Because they have the rising inflection. When they finish a sentence, they rise up as if it's a question. So I think when they say, like, tomorrow you'll start work at 8, the blokes go, that probably means about 10:30, doesn't it?
I just like the part that they were bollocking them for doing coke. I wouldn't make them do it, just make it do it all faster.
That's the answer, Kelly. People haven't been brave enough to say it, but drugs are what these builders need.
Think of what you could build with 750 million. You could have a ladder to the moon for £1.
For £1?
Well, that's better than having a big stadium, isn't it? A ladder to the moon.
Yes, but if you could deliver, Vic, I'd invest.
I've got 750 million to play with. I could have a pipe that goes down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench that you could slide down and get fired out the other side.
You're right, Vic, we haven't thought this through. A ladder to the moon.
Said like that, it sounds a lot more impressive.
A ladder to the moon. Yes, Mr. Bond. They built the biggest water slide in the world. Right, let's have a look and see whether Wembley is one of the most talked about things this week.
Of course it is.
Yes, it was. 35% of you were talking about the fact that Wembley Stadium will not be ready for this year's FA Cup final. The delays have thrown the fixtures list into chaos. Chelsea will now be playing Bon Jovi in the Charity Shield. 31% of American men would abandon their partner in favour of their own safety. Is that true or is it false?
We now think it's false.
You are right, it is false. 7% of US men would abandon a loved one if attacked by a bear. Never mind a bear. I nearly left my girlfriend when that whale came up the Thames. Did you know, for example, 14% of women say they can always tell when they're being lied to? And that's because all women are intelligent, perceptive, intuitive, and have you lost weight? The perfect slice of toast is 14 millimetres thick and weighs 0.44 grams per square inch. And that's according to a scientist who's apparently not aware there's still no cure for cancer. And only 3% of British women are naturally blonde. And that's a survey I conducted myself on the escalators at King's Cross. Right, let's get started. John, Rick, Ellen, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, over here on Team Cool, I imagine we've all been glued to the Tory party conference.
Yeah.
Osborne solved the world financial meltdown. He said, these problems have been caused by humans, and they'll be fixed by humans, which is bullshit. It's a bit like being in a jungle going, well, this arm might have been bitten off by a tiger, and I fully expect a tiger to return and sew the wound up. Bit simple, George.
I liked Jeremy Hunt's speech, the Culture Secretary, and he had this beautiful ballet dancer come on stage and do this dance. And at the same time, unexpectedly, Eric Pickles began to join in. And he was doing this sort of strange thing with his legs and was getting a bit sort of out of breath, but then it just turned out he was trying to get out of his chair.
Bless him. Even his own party are going at him for being fat. You just want him to, because he looks so sad. You think, just have some, he needs some lines, like old stock lines. So when Osborne took the piss out of him, going, do you know why I'm so fat? Because every time you f the economy, I have a biscuit.
Woo! Worst thing about going to a pop concert?
The music. No, the worst thing for me about pop concerts is the miming.
Yeah, because you want to see a show, you don't want to see people going...
Get on with it! Bloody sing!
Have you been to any pop concerts, Craig?
I have. I went to Whitney Houston's pop concert.
Not the recent one?
No, darling, the one that was in Africa, her first visit there, and that was a disaster. Because she'd lost her voice.
She'd lost her voice?
Yeah.
What, was it British Airways flying her over there with her?
I hate going to pop concerts because of the toilet situation for the women, because I'm not a big advocate of pissing in cups. So I have to queue for the loos, and I used to, like, sort of push in and say, like, oh, I'm pregnant. But I don't want to push in anymore, because I heard a story about a girl who pushed in and got into a portaloo, and then the crowd kind of turned feral, and they pushed the portaloo over with her in it. And I don't know if that's an urban legend, but I don't want to risk it.
That makes me proud to be British. You know the Tory party conference when they talk about the British spirit and what it is to be British and coming together as a community? That is the example they should have used. She pushed in the queue, did she? Well, she can be covered in poo. Good on them.
I think what I always find weird at when you go to see a band these days is they have that gap, don't they, between the stage and the audience. And they have those stewards there, these massive, great big blokes in polo shirts, and they're not seeing the band. They're staring at the audience. And the idea of trying to have a good time with this 18-stone Glaswegian just staring at you. And he's obviously got a court appearance on Monday. If you're trying to have fun, if you're in your living room trying to have fun and there's just a big bloke staring at you going, "You're having fun, are you, son?" They're always from Glasgow, aren't they, those fellas?
Yeah, and they're always lifting people out as well. I always think that's... Is there someone in from Glasgow now? Hello? OK, well, there's an AA meeting just up the road. Anything else is the worst thing about going to a pop concert?
The crowds, darling, the crowds.
It's to do with the crowds. It's a very specific thing about...
When there's a very tall person standing in front of you.
That is exactly the right answer. Yes, the worst thing about going to a pop concert is standing behind a tall person, especially if you've gone to see Jedward, because if you're standing behind someone really tall, they could block your shot, and you have to kill them both. The average sofa will witness 300 arguments, over 1,000 cuddles, and 1,500 spillages. An argument that leads to a cuddle that leads to a spillage. That is a great Saturday night in. Only 20% of us can remember the name of the first person we kissed. I can't believe anyone could forget the name Arkayla. The average golfer spends £2,000 a year on their hobby. No wonder, with so little money left over, they have to steal their clothes from the bins behind the circus. It's a joke about golfers dressing like pimps. And, according to research, the average household eats 8.4 kilograms of sausages a year. Surely that's bollocks. And, of course, lips and arseholes and eyelids. But mainly bollocks. Right, let's get started. Sean, Holly and Greg, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Kraft? Kraft have bought Cadbury's, the big American cheese manufacturing company, have bought our English chocolate company. It's a sorry state of affairs. Pretty much every English business is now in foreign hands. Soon, there'll just be, like, fishermen's friends left. No one's going to buy that, are they?
They're not going to mix the cheese and the chocolate together, though, are they? They're not going to...
Oh, I hope so.
It's not like a Cadbury's...
I hope so.
Cadbury's, like, cream cheese egg.
Yeah.
It tastes better, actually, to be honest.
Pint and a half of Dairy Lee go into every bar.
Whisper will definitely change, because they can't fucking whisper, can they, Americans? And they can't say curly-whirly, can they? Try saying curly-whirly in an American accent.
Curly-whirly.
Curly-whirly.
I want a curly-whirly.
It works.
Curly-whirly.
I love the curly-whirlies.
Yeah.
It works. I like it better now.
Do you? I feel really stupid now.
Yeah.
No, but I tell you who's going to suffer the worst, the Oompa Loompas. They haven't got transferable skills.
That's it.
I've heard that Cadbury's have got their own town. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Apparently White Lightning Cider have got their own town. No houses, just a river of piss.
I think White Lightning's town is Glasgow. Let's have a look and see whether Kraft's takeover of Cadbury's is one of the most talked about things this week. It is. Yes, this is the news that American company Kraft has completed its takeover of Cadbury's. This time next year, the workforce will be half the size, or as Kraft are calling it, fun size. Cadbury's share price soared for a few minutes, then crashed and felt a bit depressed, and then reached for another dairy milk and felt much better. 54% of our audience said they believe in extraterrestrials. Robbie Williams, Uri Geller, Krista Berg, Gloria Honeyford, David Icke, Danny Dyer, Howard from the Halifax ads. They all believe in aliens. Can they all be wrong? I don't believe in aliens, but then again, it's no surprise because I also don't believe in gnomes, fairies, trolls, orcs, goblins, Jesus, unicorns, dragons, mermaids, wizards, werewolves, or meerkats. Did you know, for example, 47% of people think their partner isn't interested in hearing about their day? Correct. 75% of Americans do a big weekly food shop every day. And only 29% of women reach orgasm every time they have sex. I've got a tip for those women, or if they like, I could put the whole thing in. Right, let's get started. Johnstein, what do you think the nation will be talking about this year?
It must be the Wimbledon final.
Oh, exciting. No.
No?
Tennis.
What's the matter with tennis?
Well, I'll be dead honest with you. I used to play the third most boring sport known to man. Cricket, only trumped by tennis and Formula 1. Do you not like cricket? It was a means to an end.
I thought it was an incredible thing. A British man won for the first time in 77 years.
And he hasn't won it since, Jimmy. Let's not let him off. This country hasn't had a Wimbledon winner for nearly 6 months now, and I've had enough. The sad thing, it's a boring name, Andy Murray, as well, isn't it? If his name was, like, Dick Gobbler or something, then... At least now in 50 years, when Sue Barker goes, and of course Britain hasn't had a Wimbledon men's champion since Dick Gobbler. Just going to keep hearing Andy Murray all the time.
It was weird that this, I was talking about 77 years of wait is over. And actually, when he won, it was like, thought I'd feel better than that. To me, nothing really can trump that dressage gold at the Olympics.
Lorraine, you're Scottish, so presumably
I am
Andy...
well spotted.
Well, you're not like full-on Scottish. You're like
Just a wee tiny bit.
I can understand what you're saying. You're Scottish light.
OK,
Now, did it mean a lot to you? That
Oh,
Andy...
absolutely. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I think it's a shame that everybody goes on about him being dour.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's Scottish. I mean, you know...
He spread sunshine everywhere, doesn't he?
And remember he cried. Remember he cried when he lost, and then we quite liked him because he cried. No?
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I mean, the reason I don't like tennis is because I'm left-handed, and you know you can't play if you're left-handed. So
you can.
You can't play tennis.
You can.
You can't play tennis with your left hand.
Yes, you can. You can do whatever you like.
There's no left-handed tennis players.
There is.
Other than Nadal?
There's loads.
He's all right. That's his greatest trick, is making us think he's using his left hand. if you hit the ball, if you tennis ball, if you've got the right hand, you hit it, it goes that way. But if you've got your left hand, you hit it, it goes behind you. So I have to play backwards like that. There's someone shouting me where the ball's coming. That's why I gave up. This is a stupid game. I'm with Freddie on this.
Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Of course it is. Yes, in July, Andy Murray won Wimbledon for the first time. Sue Barker presented Murray with the trophy 77 years after she presented it to Fred Perry. All across Scotland, people stopped what they were doing to watch the historic match. They paused Braveheart, put down their crack pipes, turned off the proclaimers and finished... and finished frantically searching between their toes for a viable vein to salute Murray's amazing victory. Half of Britain's school children don't know where ham comes from. Birmingham? Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Dave, Johnny, Rob, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Snow. The worst blizzards in Scotland for 10 years or something. 5,000 houses without power, wasn't it? Glasgow airport shut. That called a bloke in Glasgow with a coat on. That cold. There is a serious message, because it is cold. If you know an old person lives near you, on their own, nip round, pop in, you know, use their heating. They get an allowance off the government.
Do people really talk about the snow, though?
Oh, yeah.
Ring up north. They're all talking about it up there.
Christian, have you got any idea what's going on?
I can't understand a word they're saying. Straight though.
Even me?
I just need your PIN number.
All right.
For a good cause.
Okay.
We love the snow in the north, though, don't we? Actually love the snow. As soon as it comes down, we're out there, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Come again?
We love the snow. We love the snow.
The Pope's coming.
No, we're not moving on to that until we've covered snow.
It's white. It's basically a hard version of rain. I only passed my test 5 months ago. I didn't know you had to take it off the windscreen. To me, it was a magical adventure into Narnia.
Let's have a look and see if snow is one of the top 5 talking points this week. Yes, it is!
Hey! So excited.
Yes, everyone's been talking about the cold weather bringing parts of the country to a standstill this week. During the cold snap, gas prices have more than doubled. On the upside, it looks like the pension crisis might be over. Sean, Christian, Slater and Lauren Laverne, what have the nation been talking about?
Let's see, the Garrick Theatre, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't know.
I think they've been talking about the scandal of the Labour Party selling peerages for cash. Selling peerages, which is, I think, it's very strange, is that selling membership to a club which they've said they're going to disband quite soon. It seems a bit stupid. Do you want to join our club? Yeah, we are getting rid of it quite soon.
You could be Sir Christian Slater for 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's all it
about
costs.
$1 million. It's about $1 million.
It's about $1 million. Oh, forget it.
Well, I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that because you could take out, you could borrow £1 million, lend it to the Labour Party at the same interest rate you're paying, right? And then you're a lord, and when the bank phone up for the money, you go, do you have any idea who you're speaking to?
£500,000 Michael Flatley paid just to be Lord of the Dance. If he'd have paid a bit more, he could have used his arms. He didn't pay enough, that's it.
Well, let's have a look and see whether Labour selling peerages is one of the top 5 stories this week. Yes, it is. Yes, Labour have been accused of selling peerages by exploiting a loophole where they accept loans instead of donations. They've been defended by a number of leading peers, Baroness Claims Direct, Sir Ocean Finance and the Earl of Cornhill. But most embarrassingly, by Lord Archer. Did you know, for example, 25% of couples say they experiment in the bedroom? We do. Last week, we put the chest of drawers next to the window and the cupboard over by the shoe rack. Like to keep it fresh. 35% of single women worry they've missed the boat by holding out for Mr. Perfect. Don't worry, ladies, you can have Mr. Perfect if that's what you call one of your many cats. And 1 in 10 people would rather meet a date online first. If you think chatting online lets you get to know the real person before a date, you've clearly never turned up at an amusement arcade clutching a bunch of balloons, only to discover you've been chatting to an undercover child protection officer, who fortunately was a big fan of the show, so it all turned out OK. Right, let's get started. Sean's team, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
Yeah, European Championships. I reckon they're talking about that. I mean, a lot of people are talking about that.
Quieter than normal, though. It's not as much. I reckon everyone's getting ready for the Olympics.
Everyone's waiting for the racism to kick off. That's why it's quiet, because there's been so much lead up to it that the fact that it's like if you had a party and you had a massive balloon and you just held a pin next to it like that, and you went, how's the party? Is everyone enjoying the party? Everyone would really be thinking, when are you going to burst that fucking balloon? Because I'm going to cry when that happens.
How scared are you of a balloon burst?
You're telling me you don't have an ounce of fear when someone's blowing a balloon and they get to that point where the colours started to fade and it's too big, and you want to say to him, it's big enough, stop!
John, that's when I hold my eyelids open and walk right up to the balloon.
The only time I've got interest in football is when Peter Crouch and David Beckham are playing, and basically...
Such a weird mix.
That famous heartthrob, Peter Crouch.
I love that dance he does.
That dance he does?
That's not it.
You're the only one.
You're thinking of dressage.
I love Spurs, that's who I support.
Right.
And they're not playing, are they, in the Euros?
They're not playing in the Euros, no.
As a Spurs fan, you'll know that the Spurs manager left this week. His name was...
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho. He's got quite a Cockney accent now. He's really picked up English, Jose Mourinho.
Oh, is it Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp.
That's it. I love Harry. I love Harry.
You know what I didn't like about the match against France was it started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I have to watch it with my kids, which ruins it, because they just ask loads and loads of questions. So it starts off, it goes, who's in the white shirts? You go, that's England. Oh, we live in England, don't we? Yes. Who's in the blue shirts? That's France. Why is he wearing yellow? He's the referee. What does he do? He tells all the rules. What are the rules? You can't pick the ball up. Why is that man picking the ball up? He's the England goalkeeper. England? Why is he wearing green? You go, oh. In the end, I just recorded it and put Happy Feet on and got my own back. You go, why is that penguin talking? They can't knit scarves.
A new player that I didn't know, the 18-year-old from, is it Arsenal, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
He can actually form sentences and everything. I watched an interview with him and it was like, this is an England footballer. He's really articulate and he can speak. It's amazing.
Someone's got to cry.
He's got a great name, Oxlade-Chamberlain. It sounds like a fold-away bicycle, doesn't it? Yes. I commute with my Oxlade-Chamberlain and I'm ready to ride.
I think he's 18, he must be gutted.
He's 22, isn't he?
No, he's 18.
He's the youngest player apart from Rooney to play in the Euros. Is he? I think.
This guy's doing the stickers, Sean. I wouldn't question him on Euros.
Right. Has anyone got their swaps?
You're not actually collecting the stickers, are you?
Yes.
The Panini stickers book?
Yeah, but I didn't want it to come out like this. I thought I'd at least entice a girl back to my bedroom before I brought out my swaps.
How many do you need now?
How many do I need? 250 stickers and one girlfriend. Does anyone have the England shiny?
It's dreadful, the shiny. It's not the official badge because it's not licensed because we go with mail-in. But I'm not doing the stickers because I'm cool.
Weirdo alert! Are you doing the stickers
John
as well?
is doing the stickers. I've swapped with John.
You're collecting the stickers?
I am acquiring stickers.
I can't believe you two are collecting You're grown men!
Me and Josh were together in Greenwich last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we went on the hunt for stickers.
Do they have any stats on, or is it just the pictures of the blokes?
Oh, now she's interested.
I've got an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oh, I need that. Theo Walcott, I'll swap you.
Oh.
This may be the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
It's pretty much what the newsagent said when I said you're doing the stickers, and he just looked at both of us and went, no.
If you were to count up every hot dog sold outside football grounds in Britain on a Saturday, chances are your nickname's Rain Man. 40,000 Americans are injured in the toilet every year. Most accidents are from people slipping on a wet floor. Just goes to show you've got to look out for number one. Half of all the people who have ever smoked have now stopped. Sounds good, but when I say stopped, a lot of them have died. Let's get started. Dave, your team to go first. What have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, around Norway, it's been this smoking ban. I think the government reneged on the deal again, where they said that it was going to be a partial ban. I know they've changed their mind and it's a full ban. They were going to have designated areas in pubs, weren't they, for smoking? And to my mind, that's like having a swimming bath with designated urinating areas.
They have banned it in some American cities, haven't they? Do you approve?
Well, as I live here, I couldn't give a fuck about what's going on.
There are times you really fancy a cigarette, and it's going to be quite tricky. Like, you know, if you just cheated death in an air disaster, you really want to have a cigarette then?
I reckon they'll let you.
Yeah, do you reckon?
If you've just cheated death in an air disaster.
Yeah. But you won't care anyway, will you? Just go, piss off.
Yeah.
I think you put that plane out.
Are you saying, like, if your seat somehow gets thrown out of the plane into a pub?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look and see whether the smoking ban is one of the top 5 most talked about things this week.
Get in.
Yes, it is. Interestingly, the ban on smoking will not apply to Wales, which is one more reason to visit Wales, which brings the total to 1. We've got 2 more to get. Buzz in if you think you know what the nation have been talking about.
Is it the US Vice President going out hunting and shooting his mate? Which is really funny. I mean, he said, I mistook him for a quail.
Lenny went, did you see the size of that fucking quail?
It's a shame you didn't go with Bush, though, isn't it? Just, that would have been nice if he'd shot Bush. That would have been perfect. If George Bush had popped out of a bush and he'd blown his stupid face off.
Now, Reg, you're an American man. Have you been hunting?
No, I've never been hunting. I've been in the forest with a gun, but...
Don't threaten me, Reg.
I was doing something else, though.
I didn't think you shoot quails, because when I went on hunting, they only said that you shoot ferrets, rabbits...
You went hunting?
You sure you weren't working for Rent-A-Kill?
No,
You weren't hitting rats with a shovel?
And I'm going to go to shoot the ferrets.
You're going to go and shoot ferrets?
In the season.
In the season? Is there a season for shooting ferrets?
That's what they said.
Yeah. Do you mean pheasants?
Pheasants!
Right, shall we have a look and see if Dick Cheney shooting someone in the face is one of the top stories this week? Yes, it is. Yes, 52% of you were talking about American Vice President Dick Cheney shooting a lawyer in the face in the woods outside Dallas. 60% of air passengers have had problems with what?
The pilot. I just judged this on one incident where I was flying recently to Alicante and we got up to 35,000 feet. He came on and went, pilot Captain Johnson speaking, reached our cruising altitude, 35,000 feet, on the way to Alicante, weather en route's fine. Shit! That was it. And we sat there like... He came back on and he went, I'm really sorry, I might have scared some passengers. And what happened was, in the middle of my announcement, the stewardess brought me a coffee and spilt it on me. And that was all he was. I'm sorry. And he said, you want to see the front of my pants? And some bloke at the back went, you want to see the back of mine?
I don't think the seats would be a problem. Like especially like in America, like say for instance, you got a fat ass. And in America, a lot of people got a fat ass, and I would think that the seats would consistently be a problem over there. But I've seen a few people over here, and they seem like, well, I've seen a lot of fat people, but they ain't got no fat ass. I don't know how they do that.
Reg, that's exactly the right answer. It is 60% of air passengers have had problems with their seat. The main problem being it's next to a man whose shoe is ticking. Did you know, for example, Norwich has the politest drivers in the UK? Well, it's difficult to be rude when virtually everyone you meet is a close relative. The oldest paperboy in Britain is Bernard Davies from Brighton. He's 90 years old. Sorry, we just had an update. The oldest paperboy in Britain is Gavin Henderson from Sunderland. He's 12. And 51% of women do not groom or style their pubic hair. 51%, that means statistically, either your mum or your nan is rocking a Brazilian. Right, let's get started. John's team, what have the nation been talking about over the last week?
It's been the Brit Awards, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I'm not really your guy. That sort of musicians being cool. I'm more your sort of, hey, John, who won the omelette challenge on Saturday Kitchen this week? But it was the Brits. You were there, weren't you? Touching One Direction and When one of them did a joke to you, he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, I'm a big fan," and you were like, "Oh, God, we're all cool at the O2."
Yeah, I saw you. But in fact, when you came out, I didn't think...
I can't believe you were watching the Brits.
The football had finished, just switched over. And you came on, I didn't realise it was you at first. I thought it was Kraft work.
My fear would be if I went to the Brits, they'd go, "Who are you wearing?" And I'd have to go, "TK Maxx." I don't know the names, but I just know it's value. I just have to give my clothes names. This is Peter, the jumper. These are Tommy trousers. See ya.
Deborah, did you watch the Brits?
I didn't watch... Actually, I intermittently watched the Brits because I was waiting for something really exciting to happen, but, do you know...
What were you waiting to...
I don't know,
What was going on in your house?
I don't know, but I was watching...
You definitely do, you were there.
Occasionally. It was also, occasionally, I was looking at Twitter, and Twitter, the single biggest Twitter activity was all about the Brits, and all they were saying is nothing's happening. Nothing's happened.
That's because they're spending too much time looking at Twitter. Nothing going on.
Did you watch it, Steve?
Yeah. One Direction won the Best Video Award with their song, The Best Song Ever, and I couldn't believe they didn't release their single Best Video Ever, which would have won Best Song. But it's a terrible video, ironically.
There shouldn't be any more pressure on musicians to be cool. I would say, if you're not cool, you don't have to be. Just you can take an award. But they were trying to do, like, the coolest thing that happened was one of them went for a piss. And
on
he
the
came
stage?
back and he was like, "Oh, sorry, guys, I was having a piss." And they were like, "Oh, yeah, amazing. Annie's had a beer. And I bet you didn't flush, did you? Annie's parents are away, so we're going to go back and watch Gremlins."
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, the Brit Awards were held last week. At the ceremony, Boy George appeared to have a gash on his face. Well, there's a first time for everything. Did you know, for example, 80% of obese people say they've got no idea how much they should be eating? Here's a clue, less than that. 30% of people say their favourite meal hasn't changed since childhood. My favourite meal's still the same, sucking on boobies. Right, Mum? And 18% of the population has sleepwalked. My girlfriend's a terrible sleepwalker. A few weeks ago, she sleepwalked out of the house, met up with her ex-boyfriend, they sleep-shagged, and now she sleep-left me. When she wakes up, she's going to be so embarrassed. Right, let's get started. Sean, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
I think people have been talking about Guy Fawkes Night.
Did you go to a bonfire?
No. I don't really like fireworks. I think they're like looking at views. Just boring after a while.
Yeah, views. Yeah. I mean, the whole eye is overrated as far as I'm concerned. You don't like views?
But listen, you go out and then you've got to look at the fireworks and you go, "This is great." And then 3 minutes in, you think, "I'm bored now. I'm cold." And then you're stuck there.
Sean, is it a big night in your house? Do you do the bonfires?
Yeah, I like the bonfire thing. I mean, I had to take the RSPCA's advice quite seriously because they said you should check under your bonfire for sleeping hedgehogs. And I couldn't find any, but luckily I had some in the freezer. So. Yeah, got that sorted.
Yeah, sure. I think I look like Guy Fawkes because the people on our road did an effigy and it really looked like me. They'd done it on our road. It was right in front of my house. It was kind of in my front garden. They'd even used, like, a photocopy of my face. And they were, like, chanting, "Weirdo out, weirdo out, weirdo out," which must be, like, a traditional chant or something.
John, did you go to a fireworks display?
It was a landmark year for me. This was the first year when I couldn't even be bothered to go to the window to look. Usually, if I hear some, I'll go and have a look at my neighbour's fireworks. But this year, I just thought, nah, I'm enjoying Gogglebox.
I think anyone who pays an entrance fee to a bonfire display doesn't understand what the sky is. Like, £2 in, I'm going to stand on that car over there and play with my £2 that I've just saved.
Taunt them with it.
Yeah, just...
The best firework display, I think, in history was in Scotland a couple of years ago. It was meant to last half an hour, but due to a technical hitch, All the fireworks went off in under a minute. Let's have a look. This was meant to last half an hour. You'd have made it to the window for that, wouldn't you, John?
I would have, yeah, if I'd have heard Armageddon outside my window.
Just imagine being there thinking, oh, how are they going to follow this up? They're not.
I'd like to have seen the guy's face who lit them all and at the end just stood there just like that. I don't know.
Yeah, would you try to stop them? I reckon he just wanted to beat the traffic. He just sat and just ran to his car.
Let's have a look and see if Firework Night is up there. Yes, it was Bonfire Night this week. In one town in Kent, locals burnt an effigy of Apprentice star Katie Hopkins, which seems crazy because you can get the real Katie Hopkins for £75 plus travel. Did you know, for example, snails can sleep for 3 years without eating? Of course, at the end of it, they are dead. 200 babies are born worldwide every minute, so if you've just had a baby, whatever. You have a 1 in 10 million chance of being killed by a champagne cork. Good news, let's celebrate. Let's get started. So, Sean's team, what have the nation been talking about this week?
George Michael, surely.
He was found slumped at Marble Arch roundabout. And to be fair to him, that is a very tough roundabout to get off. I've been at that roundabout just going, oh, sod this. But I think in some ways it's a metaphorical roundabout for him. One way it's to go back to his clean-cut pop image. Another way is to carry on having sex in toilets with strangers, taking loads of drugs. And then the other way is Edgware Road. But the thing I thought was funny was they said they found some sex toys in his boot. And I thought, that's probably jump leads.
Apparently, though, you know, when they opened up the boot and found the sex toys, the gimp mask and the gay porn, he said he was off to a Lib Dem fundraiser on Hampstead Heath.
He slumped unconscious at the wheel and they couldn't rouse him.
They couldn't rouse him?
They couldn't rouse him.
If that happens, have a cuddle and then try again in half an hour.
I mean, he's sort of following the Pete Doherty school of driving, which is just get in a car and just get nicked. I don't know who the hell insures Pete Doherty. How does he get car insurance?
Well, he said to the police, he said, I'm not that much of a junkie anyway, didn't he? Maybe that's how he got car insurance. Not too much of a junkie.
But the other weird thing about Pete Doherty is he's the fattest heroin addict in the world. What's he cutting it with? Utterly butterly? Right, well, let's have a look and see whether George Michael is in our top 5 most talked about things. Yes, it is. People were talking about George Michael's drug bust. George Michael couldn't believe his luck when a man in uniform walked up to his car, knocked on the window and said, "Excuse me, sir, would you mind blowing into this?" George Michael spent yesterday caged in handcuffs and leather restraints, being brutalised by a police truncheon. He's relaxing at home. Dave, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it that Lib Dem man? They've got a leader now, haven't they? Ming Campbell. But the thing that gets me is why does he call himself Ming when it's Menzies? And he said that because it's Menzies, it's M-E-N-Z-I-E-S, and he said, oh, in the Celtic language, we don't mention the Z. I'm thinking, well, you're in the English language now. I didn't know we could make our own language up. Do you know what I mean? It's like me saying, oh, well, I'm going to add an E on it and call him Minge.
When Ming Campbell was announced as the new leader, Charles Kennedy was the first to toast the news. Although, to be honest, that was just a happy coincidence. OK, Catherine Steen, what do you like the look of?
I think I like the face paint.
OK. Well, you picked the face painting, which means it's time for our face painting challenge. Rob and Josh, Catherine and Tom, put on your smocks. Come and join me in the middle.
Whoa.
Come on. OK. Lovely. OK, so it's a face painting challenge. The rules of the game are simple. Rob, you'll paint Josh's face. Catherine, you're going to paint Tom's face. The person who does it best wins an extra point for their team. Couldn't be simpler, except Catherine and Rob will both be wearing special goggles, so everything will look upside down.
Oh, God.
Oh,
No.
Catherine, you'll be painting Tom to look like a tiger, and Rob, you'll be painting Josh to look like a clown.
OK.
OK, so those are the goggles. If you
Right,
pop
OK,
those
put them on. Oh, this is... Oh, God.
Goggles.
OK.
Oh, I don't like it.
It's horrible.
I might throw up. I don't know if I can do it.
My cock looks massive in
Okay,
it.
No, no.
Can we do it?
If I throw up, I throw up.
All right, your time starts now.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Darling.
go, Catherine.
I mean, I can't even get the fucking
Okay.
brushes.
Okay.
Jeez, your hand.
I want to do well.
White base, Rob. White base for the clown.
I was going to do his nose, actually.
Start with the
you start
nose.
getting involved.
Sure, so
Oh,
just
this-
red.
It's awful.
I can't even get to it. It's fucking mental.
Oh, look at that. Look at the speed he's working with.
Is Rob going fast?
It's not even started.
It's so awful.
I'll do that and you move your face.
It's so awful.
Try a different brush.
Okay.
You know, I was going to say this is my
Right, OK, sorry.
Suddenly it's in my mouth.
Okay,
Right.
wait. Close your eyes a bit.
Oh, I feel sick.
Don't you feel very tender of touch?
Well, it's bothering me that I can't be good.
OK.
I don't like hurting people.
It feels very symmetrical thus far.
What are you doing?
Keep your hands still.
I'm so sorry, Josh.
Darling.
Sorry.
Why are you
That's rather
painting his shirt?
I can't. Oh, wait. Because...
What are you?
I keep talking
Looking at
you
me
know
over
where
my head.
I feel absolute. I don't know where anything is.
Why are you slurring your words?
Because mate, I don't know what's going on here.
He's on a badge.
Oh, here we go. We're back in the game now.
Divine. And I think you've got perfect symmetry until the spots went on.
There's nothing in that one! Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, Tom, Okay, close your lips, Tom.
Is that all right?
I'm gonna try to put some black on.
What is that on?
My head. They call it. Oh, fuck off.
Sorry.
I can't do it.
Where are you, darling?
I can't do it.
I feel like I've wanked off an elephant.
OK, your time's up. You can take off your glasses.
Oh, it's so horrible.
It is horrible.
OK. I think we've got to agree Catherine is the winner of that challenge.
Yeah!
Well, Maisie Joe, go and get your Is There a Rat Under My Hat hats on. Catherine, come with me. Let's play Is There a Rat Under My Hat? Come on in, guys.
Is there a rat under my hat?
Right. Well, just on facial expressions, I think you can tell who's got a rat under their hat.
This might be a double bluff.
Oh, yeah, it could be a double bluff, but it definitely isn't look at her. Catherine, who's got a rat under their hat?
I don't know. I think I need a lot of time to tell.
Joe, I think what Catherine's trying to say is, could you tell us a little bit about your childhood? Where did you go to primary school?
Yeah, so I went to a place called Thornhill, and then I went to Hyper Grove, and then fell into the acting, and yeah, it's just...
Rob, what's your favourite film?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man,
Yeah.
interesting choice. Catherine, any further questions before we conclude?
It's interesting because
Step on it.
I just wanted to tell you guys, Angela was telling me a second ago that if a rat defecates on your head and any of it seeps into your eye, you'll go blind. Yeah. And then
Maisie, do you like dogs? Because we might be getting you one.
Love dogs. Hurry up. Seriously, hurry up.
So who do you think has a rat under the hat? I mean, either she's the actress of a generation.
Yeah. I don't know if Maisie has a rat under her hat because I think this might be a double bluff situation. Like, I don't really know, Maisie, are you a good actress?
No.
And then Joe Swash, he's had cockroaches in his ears, God knows what else. He's cool as a cucumber, but he's been in the jungle and so's Rob. So
I didn't do none of that in the jungle. tried to do some jokes.
Yeah, I had a skill.
Not now. We're going to need an answer now.
I really can't tell. Who was
What do
that?
you mean you can't tell? There's never been a more obvious question in the history of television. This is like a quiz on This Morning.
I think it's double bluff too.
I think it's double bluff. You see, we don't trust
Okay,
people.
so who do you think's got a round of that? Quick, you've
I
got to
think
pick.
the rat is in Joe's hat.
Might be in my hat.
Because he's never been more.
The greatest ever acting skills.
You done so good.
Mersey Adam there. Come on. Unbelievable. Should we test who got the most out of school? Let's have our very own spelling bee. Come on up. It's been fun. OK.
I've never watched a spelling bee in my life.
Spelling bee, right, you stand there.
Not American.
B-E-E.
Face each other.
Right. Sorry.
Face each other, OK. Now, we've upped the ante a little bit. Yeah. So if you answer incorrectly, I will give you an electric shock.
Oh, done.
No, you'll be fine, don't worry about it. OK. OK.
I do really need a wee.
It's another...
Imagine if I just pissed myself here. And then we'd all be like, no, we won't tell anyone.
Oh, fuck off!
Thank you.
Fucking hell!
Does it really hurt?
It's got a badger going up my arse.
Does it really hurt?
No, it's fine.
It ain't nice. I'm quite nice.
I didn't like that at all.
I thought you'd be into it. OK. Can we have some tension lighting, please?
Myself.
OK, Tom, you're up first. Can you spell the word facetious?
F-A-C-E-I-T.
Stop, Jimmy, no.
That is incorrect. The correct spelling of facetious is F-A-C-E-T-I-O-U-S.
There's no way there's a T in there, is there?
You want to try again?
No.
OK. Next one. Rob?
Yeah?
Manoeuvre.
Don't fucking give it out like you know what's going on.
I like the fact, even Rich Osman went, oh. Yeah.
Good luck, Rob.
Manoeuvre.
M-A-N...
Take it, Rob.
O-U-R-V-E.
Oh! That was like Back to the Future when Biff got angry. Manoeuvre is M-A-N-O-E-U-V-R-E. You should have just read it off the autocue.
I was going to say it.
OK, next one. All right, easy one. Spell pterodactyl.
P.
P?
Oh, yeah, sorry. T.
Right.
E-R-O-D-A. T.
OK. You were doing really well. It was P-T-E-R-O-D-A-C-T-Y-L. You missed out the C.
Oh, well, I was very worried about getting electrocuted. They're like those things they used to advertise that you put on your tummy and got a six-pack.
Yeah?
I'm going to have an amazing six-pack. Just on my arse.
If you play your cards right later. Rob?
I feel so sad. I've got the posture of a dog at Battersea.
Easy one for you, Rob. Rhythm.
R.
Great start.
H. Y. T-H-M.
Correct! Yes! So Rob's the winner! You've won the spelling bee!
Ow! Ow! It's still going on!
Catherine, what do you like the look of?
Ooh, I think I like the carrot.
OK, you've chosen the carrot, which means it's time for a quick bonus round. Gemma, Catherine, join me for Carrot in a Box.
Let's do it.
The rules of Carrot in a Box are simple. You both have a box, but only one of the boxes has a carrot in it. The aim of the game is to end up with a carrot. It's a game of bluff. OK, Catherine, in a moment, I'll ask you to look in your box. If you don't have the carrot, then you have to bluff Gemma into her giving you her box. But ultimately, it's Gemma's choice whether she keeps her box or swaps it with your box.
Okay.
So, Catherine, look in your box.
Yep.
OK, Catherine, you want a carrot. Gemma, you want a carrot. Let's play Carrot in a Box.
I can confirm, Gemma. There is a carrot in my box.
Right, I know a blag when I see one. I used to be a car dealer. There's a carrot in that box.
Yes, there is a carrot in the box.
Yeah, there is. There is a carrot in the box.
You're right.
I know that there's a carrot in that box by the first bit of conversation you did.
I told you there was a carrot in the box, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he was saying that to blag me. I could be wrong, but I do think there's a carrot in that box.
Would you lie to GC?
No, I wouldn't.
But you want the carrot.
Listen, babes, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Literally a carrot in my fanny and the box.
I think there is, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, never been surer.
You've never been surer?
I thought the aim of this game was to tell if there's a carrot in the box.
Yes.
Right.
That is the aim of the
I
game.
think there's a carrot in that box. Can we lift the lid and can I sit back down, honey? Please. Just this game thing excites me out. No? Yeah. I do think there's a carrot in that box.
I'm sorry, and your complaint is you've been standing up for too long. Fucking hell, GC.
Put me out of my misery. Open that box and let me sit back down, please, next to Robert.
To be fair to Gemma, she's got a long journey home. She'd give her cab driver free addresses.
Gemma, it's your decision. Do you want to swap with Catherine's box or do you want to keep your own?
Swap the box, the carrot's mine.
OK, all right. Is there a carrot in that box?
Yeah! Well done, Gemma.
That means the winner of Carrot in the Box is Gemma!
See?
She won a carrot.
It was the start for the change. You're good.
Oh, my God. Put it up again. It's the same colour, isn't it?
Listen, I'm too clued up.
I'm not. I could learn a lot from you. People lie to me all the time, and I don't know until I'm pregnant.
Right, time for a quick bonus round. As Liam's here, we're going to have a cake decorating challenge. Rob Ashling to the cake decorating station. Now, your task is simple. Use the ingredients in front of you to create a cake that's a self-portrait.
Rob, you can definitely do a self-portrait. The shape and colour's exactly the same already.
OK. Here's what you're aiming for. This is a self-portrait I iced earlier.
Is that not just one of your spare faces, Jimmy?
And to make things more interesting, I will be electrocuting you as you ice the cakes.
Oh,
okay?
shit!
OK, so Liam and I will be judging at the end of this, as fairly as we can. You're up against the clock on this, so start decorating now.
OK. Come on, Rob! That's so anxious.
This is very therapeutic. Oh, my bloody...
It's so horrible.
Lads. I'm...
I'm two more away from emptying my bowels.
Oh, my God.
I thought that might help. I'm going to Radcliffe down my leg in a minute.
Oh, Jesus, shit! Jimmy, now, you little whore. Oh, my God!
This is the most Irish I've ever seen.
OK, 10 seconds to go, 10 seconds.
Can I take some
some of your bits?
We need more marshmallows for Rob's tins.
OK. Oh. Mine is actually looking brilliant. Ah, you little shit! Oh, my God! Oh!
Let's take a look at your cakes.
So therapeutic.
You all right?
I don't know. I think I'm like, thank Jesus.
I would say, actually, that was maybe the best swearing I've ever heard. So, Rob, take us through your cake. Just turn it round there. OK, perfect. And let's take a look at Aisling's.
This is...
Aisling, can I ask, were you in the Mighty Boosh at some stage? Rob, could you hold that up against Aisling's face so we can see? I mean, it's pretty much identical.
Thank you.
Oh. OK, so, Liam, whose is the best?
Liam.
Yeah.
OK, so whose cake is the best?
Aisling?
Yes! Yes!
How's that lost?
Your little face.
Oh, it's all right. It stayed intact. Did you know, for example, 1 in 4 people think that using an electric toothbrush is lazy? Yeah, what's wrong with traditional foreplay? 62% of Scots spend more than 30 minutes on the phone every day. Hello, it's me again. I'm having another heart attack. And a plastic bag in a landfill site takes 1,000 years to rot away. So, in a sense, it is a bag for life. Take that, M&S. Let's get started. Jason, Matt, Frankie, what are the nation be talking about this week?
Wimbledon. Well, they're all there. Hewitt is there, Federer, Murray, the Williams brothers are there. So they're all it's pretty good. Tim Emman is doing the commentary for the old Beeb, and it's going to be weird for him staying the full 2 weeks, I think. Do you think halfway through the commentary he's not doing so well, someone just goes, "Come on, Tim!"
Do you watch the Wimbledon?
Yeah, I watched Andy Murray beat the French guy. I'm quite surprised he beat him and the French guy didn't just surrender after a couple of sets.
Nice.
There's a new word, isn't it? Because it's Henmania, and now they've got Andymonium. And I think, really, it's got Andymonium. I think, really, it should be called Andy Pandemonium, shouldn't it?
He's a right miserable-looking bastard, Murray, as well, isn't he?
Yeah, as opposed to your good self, Frankie.
Not a 21-year-old millionaire who looks like if they let him near the umpire's chair, he'd hang himself off it.
It's so boring, tennis, that the slightest thing, the crowd go mental like it's the most hilarious, shocking thing they've ever seen. Federer's opponent sat next to him. Did you see that bit? The crowd reacted like he'd picked up a ball boy, swung him around by the ankles and thrown him into the crowd. Why do they throw the sweaty... It's horrible. They throw their sweaty headbands into the... It's horrible. We're in here for about 3 hours, sweaty. Like... Imagine if Vanessa at the end just got her knickers off and went, "Go on!"
The press are obsessed with knickers, aren't they? If you just were going, "God, I can see her knickers. Whoa, I can see her looking knickers," you'd be down as a pervert. You get arrested. The Sun can just go to the tennis and go, "Whoa, look at her knickers. She's got red ones on. Whoa." It's the equivalent of standing at the bottom of the stairs at work, just going, "Oh, I've seen your knickers." For some reason, it's fine.
But don't you think that those sound effects, you know, when they go, "Ugh," every time they serve and everything, "Ugh," and if you combine that with porn, where everyone's always going, "Ugh, ugh," don't you think it just puts ordinary people under colossal pressure? Because, like, very often you're being shagged and you don't want to make any noise, you just want to go, oh. You don't always have to go, "Ugh," do you? Or you go, "Ugh." You just sometimes want to go, and you have to.
Why don't you just get him to shag you and put the tennis on in the background?
Well, let's see how many people are talking about Wimbledon this week. the most talked about thing in Great Britain this week. Yes, Wimbledon started this week. Tim Henman is commentating this year, which means the chances of him winning the competition are exactly the same as last year. Sean, Vanessa and Lee, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
There's Nelson Mandela's birthday concerts in Hyde Park, and there's Glastonbury as well. Then everyone's worried about Amy Winehouse. Will she be well enough to make it? Her dad, Mitch, says she's got emphysema, which I think at 24, that must be some kind of record. By the time she's 30, she'll have scurvy and rickets. She'll go in a bath chair with an ear trumpet.
Have you seen the pictures of her this week? She looks like a campaign poster for neglected horses.
The thing they used to do at Glastonbury is they always had, they're a bit ironic, so they'd have someone like Tom Jones on or Shirley Bassey. But it's gone way too ironic this year. And this year they've got Will Young on, Neil Diamond and Shakin' Stevens. It's like a wedding disco. You say, oh, Shakin' Stevens will be brilliant. He won't. He'll be shit, because he's shit.
Would you be tempted to go to Glastonbury?
Yeah, I'm going on to Glastonbury.
You get killed tonight, don't you?
Yeah, 2 hours dead. Feel good.
You should go to all the stone people at Glastonbury and
Make yourself white.
make yourself all white and then just unzip the tent like that and go.
What do you think Hollyoaks is on a big screen at Glastonbury?
It's no more mental than putting Jay-Z on, is it?
JZ.
Is it Jay-Z now?
Yeah, he's in England. It's
Oh,
JZ
right.
now. You're over here, you play virus. It's JZ. I did a Reading festival, and all the tents are really close. You can hear the bands, they're not that far away. There was a band on stage when I was on, right, and there was like a sort of thrash metal punk band, and their finale was the lead singer has a shit onto a towel,
Oh, no.
then gets the towel and swings it round, and then throws it into the crowd.
What, he's nicked your act?
It'd be great if Nelson did that, wouldn't it?
You are not expecting that, were you?
Come on, it's a party!
I'm 90! OK, well, let's see if the big concert weekend is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it's the Glastonbury weekend. Kelly Osbourne is going to be filming a video diary of the shenanigans backstage. I didn't even realise the shenanigans were playing. Did you know, for example, a survey recently revealed the average British worker spends 25 minutes on Facebook every day, and that figure rises to 4 hours if they answer the question honestly. 4 out of 10 workplace relationships result in marriage, and 6 in 10 result in a written warning about the incident in the stationery cupboard. And almost a third of men aged between 20 and 34 live at home with their parents, the most common reasons being cost, convenience, and if you're from Norfolk, sex on tap. Right, let's get started.
Thing you do. I can't stand it. That thing you do like a little skip, you go, and then you go... What do you do this? You go, you skip, you go...
But Sean, you try it. If you walk from there to there, you've got to then turn round.
Look, you just do that.
Well, how would you do it? How would you do it?
You
Fine,
just
let's
do
see.
this.
Walk on. It's not easy, Sean. Yeah, OK, all right, Sean Lock, everyone, Sean Lock.
You don't do this.
What is your problem? I've got a wobbly head. I've got a wobbly head.
Apart from that, I think you're great. I think you're amazing, Jimmy.
So, most annoying habit...
Nose picking.
That is the right answer.
Yes.
Nose picking, yeah. Yes, the most annoying habit is nose picking. I tell you who was terrible at nose picking, Michael Jackson. He just could not make up his mind. John, Mark, example. We're going to call you Elliot or example?
Call me by my real name, just for this show.
OK, example.
Elliot.
Well, I watched X Factor this week, and it was very exciting because Cecil was off sick, so Nadia had to step in. Neville was in the bottom two because Phyllis said his song choice was all wrong. Anyway, he got saved and Humphrey's gone out. And I might have got the names wrong, but frankly, who gives a shit? Because the one I hate is Frankie Kokoza.
Oh.
They're desperate to report that he's cool in my desperate campaign against the most despicable human on earth. This week, they said, he's been out on a 12-hour bender. He went to Wetherspoons and had a few beers with his mates. Then they went to a club, he got ID'd, and they went back to a house. That's hardly like Oasis throwing a donkey through a hotel window or anything, is it? He got ID'd and he went home. That's not a bender, is it? And then he took 3 girls this week to car parks. What? He took them to NCP... Well, fair play. It's more expensive to take a girl to an NCP car park than a hotel.
I hate it. You've got to have no talent at all and go on there and they're awful.
Have you heard Frankie
Leona
Kokoza?
Lewis, no talent?
Well, she can sing, but that's about it.
Yeah, but she's a singer, so that's like the most important
I
part.
mean, I can't sing as good as her, but I've been struggling for years to get to this position, to get on this show.
Looking now, though. It is a weird thing, though, because, like, from your world, from sort of, you know, if you're a rapper, could a rapper ever get anywhere
Well,
on
it's
X
not even
Factor?
rapper, it's like, you know, anyone who started off from, like, you know, grassroots or underground, you know, like, touring for years. Like, I've done nearly 1,500 gigs and, you know, sort of, you do all these gigs. It's, you know, like stand-up comedy, you know, start off at the bottom and just build your way up, and then if you're good, you get a chance at making it if you work really hard. And these guys, seemingly, just come out of nowhere on TV for a couple of months, and then they've, you know, record contracts and...
A lot of them on X Factor go on to become household names, like Vanish. Did you know, for example, 3% of people have answered their mobile phone while making love? Sorry, can't talk now, just going into a tunnel. 50% of the British population are dieting at any one time. Sadly, not lunchtime. And, according to estimates, Google's index contains as many as 25 billion web pages. I don't want to worry anyone, but I've just pressed print all. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean, Claudia, Phil, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Wimbledon. Everyone's been talking about Wimbledon. They all got excited about that little boy Murray. He was doing well. Big whooping, Murray Mound, kissing himself, Popeye, and then not.
Are you just doing word association, aren't you?
I found Andy Murray slightly irritating.
You found him irritating?
The whole kissing of the muscles and all of that.
His actual aim, I read this, it's quite funny, he said it credits his newfound health to his diet. He said, and in one lunch sitting, he had 42 pieces of sushi, but he's hoping to get to 60 pieces of sushi. That's what he wants. And I just got this idea of, you know those machines that fire tennis balls at you? He just gets one of those and fills it with sushi and just stands there going...
There was actually 6 complaints into the BBC because Nadal kept scratching his arse during the...
As if someone from the BBC is going to go out and go, excuse me, can you stop picking your arse?
The whole thing about his style of tennis is about his balance, which comes from his bottom. I think it's integral to the tennis, and Claudia probably agrees as well as a tennis connoisseur. And,
yes.
And a lady who likes a fine bottom. But I think you need to focus on his bottom.
I don't understand who these people are. Who bothers to complain?
My favourite complaint was on the channel Babe Station, where the 3 women have the boobs out, they've got a pair of knickers on. People ring up and get off, right, for £1.50 a minute. Now, some bloke complained because one of the women showed a little bit of front garden, right? And again, at what point are you watching going, oh, this is brilliant, this is... Oh, no, you've gone too far now! Oh, put that away! Don't look, son, don't look! Do you know what me and Gabby did recently? Hello. Me and Gabby did an evening with Sven-Goran Eriksson.
What do you mean, an evening?
For charity. And you did like a Q&A thing, didn't you?
Did you not get paid?
Oh, Jason, you're so new to this. Let's have a look and see if Wimbledon's one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is. The most talked about thing is Wimbledon. Andy Murray could have beaten Nadal. All he needed was a slightly different strategy and a magic racket strung with dreams. The crowd at Wimbledon got right behind Andy Murray as they queued at the exit. Jason, Gabby, Mark, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, I think it's got to be the Royals. They're on their arse, aren't they? They've got no money. Apparently, they're so strapped for cash that they were thinking about setting up a premium rate phone line.
What's that? What are you wearing? A tiara? Who's that getting off?
Have you got my sceptre in your hand? Yeah, it was a bit weird. Because you'd have to ring it, wouldn't you? You'd have to ring it. Just dial 1 for 1. Dial 2 for a racist rant from one's husband. For Prince Harry, press the hash key. You know, I think that's all right, isn't it?
Classic. Yeah. It does seem extraordinary, but they are saying they're strapped for cash. They don't have any money.
Well, can't they do a sponsored run or something?
I think they should do a calendar. The Queen should do a calendar, and over this nipple she has a sceptre, and that nipple, a corgi's nose. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
But it's ironic because you've got Charles trying to save the planet, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's filling his car up with wine.
Wine and cheese, yeah.
Of
course you are, Charles.
Yeah.
Of course you are. Filling his car up with cheese. The bloke has finally gone mental. He talked for plants for years. We will let it go. We let it go. He swapped Diana for Camilla. We let it go, right? He's gone too far this time.
By swap Diana for Camilla, you mean his wife tragically died?
OK, well, let's have a look and see whether the Royals' finances is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that the Royals are apparently strapped for cash. In other royal news, the naval ship carrying Prince William has seized £40 million worth of cocaine. So, 200 sailors and £40 million worth of cocaine. It's either the biggest drug bust in naval history or Elton John has fallen off the wagon. In other news, Amy Winehouse has joined the Navy. 20% of Brits who viewed a house in the last year felt the same thrill as when meeting a new lover. I know what they mean. The last time I went house hunting, I came away with a semi. 33% of Brits say they like their smartphone as much as they like sex. For me, they're both similar, about 5 inches long, and they've seen more than their fair share of angry birds. And Mexico City is the worst place in the world to be a commuter. Especially for me, I work in Shepherd's Bush. Right, well, I can't put it off any longer. Let's get started. So what's the big Olympic story this week?
Well, they've given us a sneak preview of the Olympic opening ceremony, which is going to be a pastoral scene of Old England by Danny Boyle.
Having an opening ceremony seems sensible to me. You invite everyone, you have a big party, you go, hey, it's starting. We're spending the same amount on a closing ceremony, which is after everyone's going to have come here, beaten us at all the things we do, and then we're going to thank them with a big party going, oh, safe journey home. Sodom. At the end, we should just switch everything off and say, right, piss off, find your own way home now.
It's a solid idea, yeah.
I think it's really boring, full stop. And what is the Olympics going to do for us? What's it all about?
I don't know what... I don't know where to begin.
How is it going to change our lives? It's
not going to change your life, no.
No. It's not going to change my life. You know, we've got the football, we've got the tennis, we've got dancing on ice. What more do you need?
Well, Theresa May's going to get rid of the ASBOs because she says they're not working, so we're going to have Crimbos, they're called. Because all the papers have done now is it's an excuse to get out all the stories. Because the ASBO did some good stuff. I mean, bad people were punished as a result, but there were some silly ones. And my favourite was a woman who got an ASBO for screaming too loud during sex. Which is embarrassing for her, but for her husband, what a story that is. I ain't joking, fellas. I banged her so hard she got arrested.
Do you have ASBO? You don't have ASBOs in Ireland, do you?
No. But you're asking Kate Humble if she had an asthma. You've been pestering animals again.
Yeah. And apparently I'm now going to get a Crimbo as well, because you can get a Crimbo for having an untidy garden. Really? I'm not quite sure who's going to judge whether your garden is untidy or not.
I don't think it means brambles, it's things like sofas and fridges.
I would imagine your garden would be very well kept. How did that? There was nothing rude in that.
You're so
What's the matter with me? That I can't even say that.
Say something simple like that.
So is yours... is your garden overgrown, Kate?
I would say it's just pleasingly wild.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Counts, a show about opinion polls, surveys, statistics, and this week, I'm guessing, me. But before we get to that, 15% of prisoners are on drugs. How do they get hold of so many drugs in prison? I guess they're smuggled in by some arsehole. Yeah, bum jokes still work, good news. The average Brit spends 121 hours sitting on the toilet every year, which is about 20 minutes a day if you can work it out, or 40 minutes a day if you can't work it out. And Mexico City is the worst place in the world to be a commuter, especially for me. I work in Shepherd's Bush. Right, well, I can't put it off any longer. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean, Sarah, Georgie, anything you've been chatting, anything caught your eye in the papers?
Well, Jimmy,
this week.
We all like to put a bit of money away for a rainy day. But I think you're more prepared than Noah. I think you've grabbed a few headlines this week. In fact, when I heard that you were on the front page of the paper, to be honest, I was expecting a lot worse. I was expecting to see, like, one of those white police tents in the background. And a copper holding your laptop in a see-through carrier bag. So I was quite relieved when I found out what it was really for.
On the plus side, at least you've been in a top 5 list of something.
Blimey.
Georgie Thompson?
Right, I mean, that's got to be, you know, a positive spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a positive spin. But thank you.
We can all now see why you work so hard. You get to keep all the money. But you've apologised, haven't you? You've apologised today.
I have apologised, Sean, and in my defence... No, I got nothing.
I just want to ask you this question, because in your apology it said, my accountant said to me, do you want to pay less tax? And it's totally legal. Can you answer, when you were having that conversation, were you on a telephone and was there thick plastic glass between the two of you? Did he have like a sort of boiler suit type uniform? And a very sort of brutal haircut? Because the best accountants, that's where they are, in jail.
Your money was in Jersey. Did you just go, like, on a holiday once and think, this is lovely? Probably just going to leave some stuff here. You know, like at my boyfriend's, I've got a hairbrush. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's the case, is it? No.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You know what, though? You know what? OK, now, this is me getting political. Shit. Now, well, sort of. There's no essence. I mean, what Tony... No, it's not Tony Blair now. It's our Prime Minister.
You know what? You are near enough.
No, it's Nick Clegg, and what's his name? What's his name? He's so nondescript. Wanker. Let's call him Wanker. OK, there you go. Now, for him to say it's immoral, I mean, I think that's a bit wrong from him, isn't it, really? I mean, you know, talking about moral...
I know. What have I ever said about David Cameron?
Exactly. And the fact is...
Literally hundreds of things every week. Absolutely fair enough.
If they hadn't made that law, you know, they made it for them originally, you see, so it's all right for them. It's just not all right for the common man. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think anyone is thinking of me as the common man.
And also, and then they're saying about, you know, you're going to take Gary's OB or MBE away, you know what I mean? I mean, at least he gives us pleasure with his song, You Make Us Laugh. What do they do when they rape us for our fucking tax? Nothing, they make us cry. Do you know what I mean?
Louis, I mean, Jimmy is funny, but 1%, fuck me.
Yeah.
Did you beat him down a bit, Jim? Did you go, look, can't we call it 0.5?
Any political rant is weakened by not knowing the name of the Prime Minister.
Yeah, but I think Louis' political opinions are best expressed through the medium of dance.
Yeah, so...
Oh, here we go.
I didn't think I could feel any worse. But there it is.
I thought this week of all weeks we might get to the second round before you did a dance. I didn't think... What a pleasure it is to be sat next to the only man in Britain more flexible than your accountant, Jimmy.
Best way to reduce stress.
Best way to reduce stress? Pay your taxes.
I must just say this in case the tax man is watching. Hello, I'm Jimmy. I don't think we've met.
Jim, what you've done is you've single-handedly brought this out into the open, and by next week you're going to be wearing a cape, you're going to be going over the rest of the... It's Jimmy, the revealer!
Are you suggesting that I'm going to become some sort of government tax czar off the back of this?
Genuinely, I wouldn't worry about not working for the government. It didn't do Philip Green any harm. So I reckon you'll probably be Prime Minister in a couple of years.
Well, there's that new TV show you can do, Through the Loophole.
How can you afford to live in a house like this?
You're bad spec. I've got 3 words for you. Bush Tucker trial. This autumn.
Shall we see if my taxes are up there? Let's have a look.
Number 2.
Number 2, yeah. 2? Polly, yeah.
This is probably a good point to say hello to the millions of extra viewers who will be watching this evening. So. Good evening, Your Majesty. You just can't get the jesters anymore, can you? Oh. I never knew what OBE stood for. It turns out it's Offshore Banking Expert.
Well, wasn't the worst thing? You were saying, weren't you, they put a fat picture of you in the paper.
That was unfair.
That's fucking sacrilege. Look at him. The epitome of health, thin, gorgeous, a well-tailored suit, and they put a fat picture of him in the paper.
I'll be honest, that wasn't the worst thing about my week.
In the East End, you are a godlike figure now, though. You're known as the slippery one. You've overtaken the Cray twins in respect.
I quite like the new you, because I've never seen you vulnerable before.
It's humble, isn't it?
It's kind of sexy, to be honest.
What, you and Louis?
I love a broken man. I like a man who looks like he's on the verge of tears at any point.
He does look like he needs a bit of a cuddle, doesn't he? He does.
No.
There should be absolutely no sympathy at all. I mean, I really appreciate it, but there should be no sympathy for me at all. It's my own stupid fault. That's what it is.
I think actually what it is, you've got an illness. I think you're actually...
That's not in the papers till Sunday.
No. I think you're suffering from a problem that's affected a lot of people. It's called tax intolerance. I think you've got that quite badly. You might even be HMRC positive.
See, I honestly thought if I was going to get into trouble for anything this year, it would be a joke about the Paralympics.
Right. can still do that. Why not do the double?
Pretty much do anything now.
What I don't understand is there's been some defence of you, I'll say that. Ridiculous defence. The term legal loophole, I don't... That's like saying if someone bends over in front of you in the street, you are presented with a legal loophole. It's not really your
Don't say that
fault.
sitting next to Luke.
I wouldn't call it a legal loophole.
Call it an administrative nightmare in your case, but...
But the thing is to remember is it's not illegal. What Jimmy did is not illegal. But then again, neither's farting in a lift, is it? But... I'll wait till I get to reception. You know, you think about other people. That's probably where you might have let yourselves and others down.
But, Jim, if the one serious question I want to ask you is, did you not think there was a possibility you would get tumbled, as they say? You know, because that's what I would have thought, and I didn't go to Cambridge. This might come out, you know.
Yeah, I mean...
Did you not think that, or did you just think, fuck 'em, I'll ride it out?
Not at all. I didn't... I mean, I think not to be glib about it, but I don't think I really thought at all.
You didn't think it might come out?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't think about it at all. Just thought it's a, you know, I don't know, but I just didn't really think. That's you know, that's no, that's a really stupid thing. It's really. I made a very, very poor judgment call on what to do.
Have you got that 15 quid you owed me then?
I could tell you about the work I do for charity, but I don't think lying's going to make this any better, is it?
We were here a week ago, weren't we, having a good old laugh? And now you've lost the moral high ground to News International and David Cameron. They can only make jokes about Hitler, Harold Shipman and Chico from the X Factor. That's it. I don't understand. Tell me it's all a lie.
Well, John, I hate to sound like I'm passing the buck, but I tell you who I blame for this whole mess. Me. It's entirely my fault. It's actually quite a complicated arrangement, but I think from a legal standpoint now, I'm actually a member of Take That.
Should have got my accountant. I got a brilliant accountant. Best accountant in the world. I got Stephen Hawking. He's put my money in another dimension.
Why didn't they make Gary Barlow the poster boy and not you?
Well, I think... lots of people said in the papers this week, yeah, why is there one rule for pop stars and one rule for comedians? But may I be the first to say, absolutely fair enough. It's Gary Barlow. He used to be in Take That. Leave him alone.
As they're called now, Keep That.
But you know, you've been a bad lad and you've apologised.
Yeah.
So that stands for something, doesn't it?
But men learn very quickly that sorry is not enough. You learn that very early. You know, you go home and you go, I'm really sorry. I should have come home this year.
Well,
and the wife don't go, well, as long as you're sorry.
When will you learn that flowers solve everything?
You think I should buy David Cameron flowers?
Send him the biggest bouquet he's ever received.
David Cameron got involved because he's in charge of the economy and he gets shit in the papers every day for having to fire nurses and doctors, and one of the reasons he has to do that is because there isn't enough money in the pot, and one of the reasons there isn't enough money in the pot is because not everybody pays their tax.
All right, one more thing to get fingers on buzzers. Sure.
Is it that Julian Assange is hiding in the Ecuadorian embassy now? He's hiding in there because they've turned down his appeals against being extradited to Sweden. He's worried about going on trial in Sweden on rape charges. He's worried about it because he's got a habit of telling the truth and it won't turn out very well for him.
Well, how do you sort of approach an embassy and seek asylum within it? How does that work?
I've literally no idea. I imagine I'll find out later in the week.
New Jersey don't have an embassy. I reckon you're best off in Switzerland, because then you can do looky-likey work for Roger Federer.
Gary Barlow's been given an OBE in the same week he's been accused of avoiding millions in tax. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right about now. Least romantic thing to do on your honeymoon? John.
Keep the receipts.
Yeah,
solid advice. I should write that down.
Phone out your account, say she wants to swim with dolphins. Can I claim it?
Right, what else have the nation been talking about, John?
I think we should move on now, shouldn't we, and discuss something else?
No, I don't think so. I think this is the one opportunity, because, you know, let's put some stuff on the table about Jimmy. He gave me a lift all the way home from Birmingham once, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah, and dropped me off at Reading. And he refused to take any petrol money from me.
So if anyone was on the fence on me, I think, clearly...
Yeah. I just thought, you know, it's not all bad, Jim, you know.
Yeah,
and I
but
remember
mainly.
you bought a pasty as well, if I remember right. And you only gave me 1% of it, but that's not...
Chelsea, what else have we been talking about?
There was a doctor's strike yesterday.
Tell me more.
Doctors are on strike, and they have said they're not happy, and it's all about the pensions, because, you know, their pensions are quite, you know, substantial, and we can't afford their pensions, because not everyone pays the tax. Just put that away. And I don't think it'll affect a lot of people, you know. Nothing, all the emergencies are going to be done. You know, if you're really ill, just go to a golf course, collapse in front of a doctor, he's got to help you.
Last week we talked about the Euros. We were talking about panini stickers. You revealed that you are a panini sticker...
A stickerman. Sticker collector.
A stickerman. How are you doing on your collection?
Do you know, I bought 8 packs yesterday and I didn't get a single shiny.
I think... Well, a little bit of good news. I've got you a little present. I've got you a little present here. I think you'll enjoy that.
It's me as a sticker.
Ah, look at that.
Oh, no, John sticker.
And if you do one of those for all the tax inspectors in Britain...
Okay, best way to reduce stress. John?
I don't think there's enough stress. I think too many people are relaxed about, oh, you know, it'll be all right. Stress gets stuff done, doesn't it? Stress says, oh, shit, tax return.
Did you know, for example, 90% of people think that Christmas is too commercialised, and there's a special name for those people, tight-fisted twats. If you're watching, children, I don't want to spoil Christmas for you, but not only is Santa made up, so's Jesus. And your dog didn't go and live on a farm. Different religions celebrate Christmas in different ways and at different times. Some people in the Middle East, for example, celebrate their Christmas on September the 11th. So we've got a lot of Al-Qaeda in, have we? And it takes up to 15 years to grow a 6-foot Christmas tree, but just 30 seconds to lob it over the fence into your neighbour's garden on January 6th. Sean, Biggins, Jack D, what are your favourite things about Christmas Day?
Well, first, Jimmy, I'd just like to say a very Merry Christmas to you, Jimmy. I hope you have a wonderful seasonal period filled with joy and good tidings, and that Santa brings you everything you want.
Yeah. Hear, hear.
Yeah. So I guess how you'll be spending Christmas.
He gets visited by 3 ghosts.
Yeah. But Merry Christmas, Jimmy.
Yeah. Bah humbug. So, what have you got planned? What do you like about Christmas Day?
Where do I start? What about you, Jack?
It's a busy time of year for me, you know, because there's so much more joy to kill.
Let's ask Christopher Biggins.
I see something, you know, if I'm on a holiday or if I'm on somewhere and I think, oh, I'll keep that and I'll put it in this cupboard, and then it's there, you see. You don't have to go all that mad Christmas shopping at the last minute, you know.
Have you ever got anything you liked, Jack?
What, for Christmas?
Yeah, present-wise.
No. I've just, well, the thing is, you know, when you grow up, you stop being excited. I haven't been excited about anything since I was 3, and I realised it's
You've
not
been
the
like
same.
this since you were 3?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. It's stuck with me.
I sort of was about 7 or 8. I remember Christmas Eve, I was lying in bed. Me and my brothers in the same bedroom, and they were younger than me. And about 11:30, there's a weird time about 11:30 where the kids are pretending to be asleep, and the adults know that they're not asleep, but they let it go because it's Christmas Eve. And there was some sleigh bells just outside the house, and we're like, a little bit excited, sleigh bells. And then my dad leant out of a window, so about 11:30 at night, he leant out of a window and he went, "Hey! I don't care who you are, get the bloody hell off my roof!" And we were in our room going, "Oh my God, it's Santa," and Dad's just him.
Do you like Christmas shopping?
No, I don't. I do it all on the internet.
You do it all on the internet?
All on the internet. It's much, much easier. You can sit there in your nice pyjamas, you know, with Santa on them, or snowmen, or whatever.
I'm painting a picture.
I just like that. I never used to trust it, but I do trust it now, because I never used to think that it would actually arrive.
But you do all the shopping on the internet, and then it turns up in about 150 different boxes with all those stupid polystyrene filling stuff, and you've got to take all that. I mean, isn't that right?
Yeah,
all that rubbish. You buy one little thing, and it comes in a box that size, and you know you thought it was all going to come in one box. It's all done, but no. For the next 20 days, you've got a postman knocking at the door at inconvenient times. Got another bloody parcel to sign for, and another load of boxes to get rid of. And another load of those stupid polystyrene things that children choke on because they think it's popcorn.
The thing that gets me is wrapping. I can't get my head around it.
It's the best thing about buying a gift, I think, when you're in like a department store and they go, "Do you want it wrapped?" And you go,
yeah.
"Oh, yeah, don't worry about that." I did it last year, though, and I got a bunch of stuff wrapped, went to a big department store, got a bunch of stuff, got everything wrapped, and then didn't know what anything was.
Yeah.
I had to unwrap all the presents. I had my own little Christmas morning. I went, "Oh, look what I got."
I do the thing that all blokes do at some point when wrapping presents, where you go, "I might do this one like a cracker." I think you're the only person who's ever done it. You've gone, "Oh my God, I've just had an eureka moment."
And like they get bigger and bigger, it's a pair of shoes.
Yeah. Cracker.
What I do in most scenarios when I get given a present, the first thing I always say, it's a little tip of advice for you, very good. So open whatever it is, just open it, just look at it and you just go, "This isn't my main present, is it?" This is just some little bauble to go along with the main present, isn't it?
Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr, and I don't want to impose on your day. I know you just watched a clip of me. You probably had enough of me already. But if you could like and subscribe, that would help me in some way, which I don't fully understand. I think basically if you like and subscribe, then down the line, I have a more comfortable retirement. I don't know.